Hey, welcome to it. Another Paranormal Exploring podcast. I say another one as though we're putting these things out every week, but it's been a few months, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a while.
Psychic medium Tammy Schuster is joining me, and of course, my name is Josh. Hello, everybody, and hello, Tammy.
Hello,
I don't know
Josh.
if you can see me. I feel like I'm in a smaller... Hey, did you see what I added to my studio in here? Oh, go this way.
On the air.
Well, it's not moving the way I wanted to go. There's my UFO poster. Hang on.
Oh, it's behind you. You're going the wrong way. Oh, your head's there. There you go. I want to. There you go. I see it.
Well, I want to believe.
I can't see. I want to believe.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Now I just messed up my camera. All right.
Sorry.
You know how long it took me to get that to... Uh-oh. All right. There. Everybody got a good glimpse of my double chin there. How have you been?
I've been good. I'm excited.
I know you said that you had a lot of events going on this summer, and you actually just literally got done with one like a few minutes ago. So
yeah,
thanks for making time to do this.
It's fun.
I figured today we'd do a couple different things. Obviously, as the second season, we've been building up the second season for a while, but as we're getting closer to it, we've got all these really cool locations literally locked down. Places I didn't think we were ever going to go, which is really kind of cool. And then I've got sad news, and I think a lot of people that follow my personal stuff, they know the sad news, and that's where I kind of wanted things to go today, because I figured who better to talk about this with than you, because I've got so many questions, and I'm sure other people do too. But I figure let's start. Should we start with the second season and what's going on?
Let's go.
Okay, so
I'm going to say I'm excited, but I am scared for this season.
I am too, and here's the thing. So as I'm planning things out, and I've really been able to hone in on this now the past 2 weeks, I've been able to really look at stuff and make sure we got everything lined up. And I got new toys, and dang it, I left it in the house. I got a music box.
Yay!
So it's a little bit different than what you'd see on TV, but I was playing with it the other day, creeping everybody out around me. So we've got one of those now to play with. So, and we're going to need it. We've got a couple locations. We're going to do another big 2-day shoot is kind of how we did last year, where Tammy and I are going to get together. I've got another haunted school. And what the heck was the other place? Oh, a big village.
Village.
It's a haunted village that we're going to be going to. It's got numerous buildings with a lot of history. They're all moved onto this 40-acre lot.
Nice.
And the big twist is this year, and this is what I really like, because I was thinking about, do we add a third person? How are we going to do this? I don't think me and you have done a big location alone.
No.
We always have someone in the third spot. So the haunted school, which is not like Westwood. It's a lot
Thank
different.
goodness.
It's not going to kill us. Like, I was afraid we were going to die in Westwood for the most part, because that place, not only the haunted part, but the part that there's mold everywhere, and I didn't know if we were going to fall through the floor or something was going to fall through the ceiling. Did I think I told you in the last podcast, they're not doing exploring there anymore because somebody's actually going to be living there.
Nah, not me. I ain't coming to visit anyone living there.
No way. But the haunted school, it's just going to be me and you.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a little bit different this year, and I think there's going to be a bit of a theme of just a bit of a fear theme. There always is.
Yes.
But then the next night, we're going to do the village. It's called All Glaze Village, and it's in Northwest Ohio, out in the country. And that's where it's kind of like, if you're from the Michigan area, what's that village that's around?
Greenfield Village.
It's like a Greenfield Village. Around here, we have something called Sauter's Museum. I think every area has something like this. But the idea is that, these buildings are legitimate buildings. They're not buildings that were just built and put on this property. They were buildings that were old schoolhouses, old churches. There's a little military museum, which they say is really haunted. And Austin, if you remember him from last season, he's going to be our guide for both of those places. So he's always able to tell us what's going on with them, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
And then I've got some other smaller, which I'm not even going to tell you about. I want to surprise you. Like,
okay.
When you're in town.
I didn't know about anything else, Josh.
When you're in town, I've got a bunch of places that I'm not even giving you a heads up on. I will say that we did talk about this. We are going to go back to the cemetery.
Yes.
Because that's where we started the whole project.
Family.
You found family the next time, so who knows what's going to happen this third time when we go.
Yeah, I want to go and talk to the family.
Yeah. So we're going to do that again. And then the other locations I'm not going to tell you about. So it's a big
I'm
secret.
scared. I'm scared for the other one. I've been catching up on other things that's done there, and so yeah, it's going to be interesting.
And then then we got the big in. I would say that we're shooting it in August. I'm not going to say where.
Nope.
It's probably going to be out later in October because by the time we get done with everything we have to do with it. But this is going to be one where I think Dawn is going to join us again, right? Oh, and I should back up. Jason is going to help us at All Glaze Village. So Dawn and Jason are both returning this season to help us out.
Yeah.
But we have a monster location.
Yes. Mega
monster. That's all I'm going to say. That's kind of a hint almost.
Yep. I don't think so.
When they both start with a certain letter. Mega.
Oh. Yeah, now you're really giving it away. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not
in a candy store.
I'm not going to say much more than that, but this is going to be one that is everybody knows about, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. So I can't wait. I can't wait for that.
Your idea of fun and mine, I think it's going to be something. I don't know as I would say fun.
And what's crazy too, though, is it's only going to be 3 of us. At first, we were going to try to get 4 people. Then the 4th person I wanted to get, which he still wants to help us out with one. It's just our schedules aren't lining up. Yeah. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe 3 is just the key to do this. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll keep you posted on that one. But yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm most excited about.
Maybe we won't.
Maybe we'll try. You'll know when we know. And yeah. But I wanted to bring something else up today because it was really difficult. I don't know if you can tell my eyes are real puffy still. But basically, all day Tuesday, I was nothing but a crying mess because I had to put my buddy down, Swanson.
Yeah.
And you met Swanson when you were in town last year.
He's so sweet.
One of the best dogs. I mean, for me, he was my first dog that was basically just my companion. I mean, I've always had like a family pet, and we've had dogs that had to be put down in the past. But with him, as soon as I moved into my house, and this is where the paranormal part comes from that I was talking about on Facebook, I moved back to my area where I grew up probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And I lived in an apartment for a little bit. Then I said, I think I'm going to buy a house. And I bought a house that's over 125 years old. And one scary part about that is the maintenance, keeping it up. The other one is the fact that people have died in the house, and a 125-year-old house is going to be haunted. I was sitting in my living room one night, and my closet door that's underneath the stairs just popped open. When that happened, I freaked out. And I had to go, I want to say it was the next day, I went to the dog pound, and I found Swanson. I adopted Swanson, and then he actually had been honed in on that corner ever since I got him, and he kind of backed off. Anyway, he's been sick for the last 3 years. He had heart disease. And then he had a really good day on Saturday. I took him to the vet. She had to drain some fluid out of his stomach. She got 4 liters out. And then Sunday he was acting normal. And then Monday he was starting to turn. And then Tuesday when I woke up, he was just, I had asked, I had prayed, I had said, I just want a sign that it's time to go. I don't want to make him go too long. I don't want him to go too early. And it was just the right time. Yeah. Confident in my decision that I had to do it, called the vet and had to take him in. And it's just been a mess ever since. But, and I've been just, like I said, a mess all week. But the interesting part about this is, and I don't know if it was just my mind messing with me, and this is why I wanted to bring you in. When I got back from the vet Tuesday afternoon, I'm cleaning my car out. I'm getting the blanket and everything and all of his, his collar and everything out of it. And as I'm looking up, there's a spot in my front porch because I park out on the road. There's a spot in the front porch where he would always sit and look out the window. And I don't know if you remember the shape of his head. He's got one ear that goes up, one ear that goes down.
Yes.
I could have sworn that I saw him. And it was enough to where I had to do a triple take, what the hell is going on? And it was pretty wild. And then later on that night, and keep in mind, this is all the same day, we've got another dog who's a greyhound. She's not necessarily my companion as much as she's my fiance's companion, but I love her. She's a nice dog. But I'm upstairs taking care of Swanson's bed and just trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that. And I hear Toes tapping on the hardwood floor downstairs. And it sounded like Swanson, but I'm like, it must be Beatty, the greyhound, and she probably has to go out or something like that. So I immediately went downstairs. She's asleep in the office on her bed. She wasn't even up. So I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So that's why I wanted to bring you in. We always talk about humans haunting places that they've been to, whether it's residual or new or whatever. What's your thought on pets?
So I have my own personal experience because I'm all about if I can't experience it, it ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm very black and white where things go, going in investigations. You would think someone like me is not, but I am. So 100%, we had a husky dog that we had from the time she was 5 weeks old until 14. And every night when she would go to bed, she would get on her bed and she would turn in a circle, lay down. She'd do this 3 times. It was very deliberate. Every night she did this for, 14 years. And still randomly now, she's been going on 11 years. And still randomly now, I'll feel that turn and it will go 3 times just like she did. And there's nothing, and it's definitely her. It was what she did. And then we had another cat that was like the size of a dog. She weighed 22 pounds. And when she was mad and her food dish was empty, she would hit that dish and it would slide across the tile kitchen floor. And we can be sitting in the living room and still randomly, she's only been gone just over a year. And so hers is way more profound now. And every once in a while, Bert will get this happy look like he's ready to play with his sister. She won't be there and the food dish will go sliding across the tile floor just like she used to hit it when she was hungry.
Oh, wow.
Because she didn't like it if she was hungry and she would just hit. It's just a little dish, but it's a glass dish. And she would hit it and it would slide. And so we can be out there and that dish will go across the floor and Bert will be out there with us. And he acts the same happy that he did when he was around her. So I 100%, I wasn't with you, so I can't tell you, but
right.
I know I've had my experiences. And I also know, we know that animals see the other side from this side, so they couldn't see a soul if they didn't have a soul, if that makes sense. Because animals will look and stare, like you said about Swanson, looking at the same place where that door popped open. So they can sense and see the other side, and the only way to see a soul is to be a soul.
So do you think that's just a sense that they're born with, that they, and, I mean, what is it, like the sixth sense or whatever? You think that's something that they're just born with, that's natural for them?
They don't have people like we do telling us we shouldn't see things that's not there. Oh, you didn't see anything. They know what they've seen, and they, that's why they're adamant. And that's why you'll hear a lot of times people will say that owner that maybe lost a dog or something, or the dog lost the owner, and the dog will act a certain way because they see the owner. So they can't really see without like moving forward. So I think they in a way have a benefit that we don't, as growing up. Even me growing up was told, oh, you don't hear what you think you do, you don't see what you think you do.
Right.
And animals just know it. They rely on their instincts.
Wow, that's interesting. I never really thought about that.
They're a better judge of people than we are. I mean, if my cat likes someone, there's usually means they're good.
So do they cross over like humans do?
I don't have an answer for that. But I know I've seen like people who are with their pets on the other side. I don't know if their transition's the same. I wouldn't think that they have the lessons to learn like we do.
Right.
But I have talked to people from the other side who come for a reading and their loved ones with a pet, or will say, I have this pet, and they'll describe them. So I know they're with them. I can't imagine that they have the same transition that we do. So
when you talk about this, and I know I follow your podcast, and somebody watching this might not follow it to know what you're talking about when you're talking about lessons. So when you're saying that, can you kind of clarify?
Well, so like we all have things that we mess up on. And so part of the things we have to learn is we don't learn and own what we do here. We're going to do it there. So there's stages and things we have to work through on the other side. So those are what I call lessons or stages. And children and pets, they don't have the same lessons and regrets that, I mean, I'm going to be 58 and I got a whole lot of years of things that, I can either own here and make right, or I have to carry them with me and fix them.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, it's comforting to know that, it's comforting to know, even when you said that you've seen owners with their pets on the other side. So, I mean, that would indicate to me that when the day finally does come that you do see everybody that you love, including your pets. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
hoping that's true.
it's a soul. We talk about it's a soul that transitions.
Hmm.
It's a soul that goes on. And animals have like the best souls, and they definitely see and they connect with people who aren't there. That, you know, when I'm closed off, my cat did not like my mom. And sometimes he'll just, you know, and I'll be like, oh, grandma's here, you know, because it was the same look he gave my mom when she lived here those few months. So 100%, like I said, I'm the most skeptic. And I always say, if I don't see it, I don't believe it. But we've had my dog do the thing, and there's no one that does the 3 turnaround like this husky did every day for 14 years. And the cat dish, Bert's out there and he gets excited first, and all of a sudden the dish goes sliding across the floor.
Do you think that's more of like a residual thing, or do you think that's them?
Nah,
That's
nah.
actually them.
I don't think residual energy has the ability to turn in the circle like my dog did. I mean, residual energy can light up our equipment and do different things and make us feel weird. I don't think residual energy can slide the cat dish across the floor like, I'm hungry, the dish was empty and she slid it. I don't think residual energy can turn 3 times in that bed like she used to do every night before bed.
So, and this,
There could be,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was going to ask.
And there can be residual energy that maybe moves a blanket or something, but not like that.
Oh, I see. So now when they go, do they know they've crossed over, or do they think they're still with us? That's a
I don't have that answer. I wish I did, but I don't. I would think that they understand that they're in a different place, but I would also, I don't like feel my dog all the time, and we don't feel the cat all the time.
right.
I think they just, like, Izzy was when I was in a bad mood, she would know, and she would just sometimes just sit there and annoy him, meow, 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 like trying to get my attention. I just think they still sense our sadness and our sorrow, and, you know, and I think our brain sometimes reaches for things just like we reach for humans. Sometimes we will project something that's probably not really there. And I think it can happen, but I don't think that. I don't think that they go away. I think that they're with us, but I'm sure they're pretty well aware that they're in a different place. Just like us, I have to think that they're healed and they don't have the health issues that they have here.
Right. And that's also really comforting to know that too. You know, it's interesting. I did ask the question on our Facebook page, on the Paranormal Exploring Facebook, and also my personal, because I did find, it was interesting. I found the stat as I was prepping my syndicated show. I told you I'm syndicated now, right? I've got my radio show on in 2 small little towns, but it's fine. It says here, according to a survey, many bereaved pet owners will even mistakenly interpret ambiguous sights and sounds as the movements, pants, and whimpers of the deceased pet. This is most likely to happen shortly after the death of the pet, especially among owners who have a high level of attachments to their pets. I don't agree with the fact that they mistakenly interpret. I think they're actually they're seeing them or hearing them. So anyway, I posted that on Facebook, and I did ask if anybody else had experienced that. And here's just a few of the responses. Miranda put that she heard her late husband Joe's the old dog Gordon, bark a few times. So that one's interesting.
Well, we heard the cat. I heard the cat at Cottonwood. I don't know about you, but I heard the ghost cat.
I forgot about that.
We had the ghost cat at the Cottonwood.
Yes, we did.
And people have seen the cat walking down the hallway.
Lisa said she heard some whimpers. Diane Denoyer, we know Diane. See here, she put, so sorry to learn of your loss. I will say often over the years I felt or seen Bear. Even being in a different home. I chalk it up to that she was there with a lot of others were not. I might be crazy, but I still miss her to this day. Yeah, I mean, I've got a ton of these responses lined up with what we were just talking about. Jessica put, after we put Tucker down, I used to swear I could hear the jingling of his dog tags. Jared put, after we put Cora down and found a brother Archie for Baxter, we started seeing Cora in Archie. The random resemblance we find in her tells us that he's still here with us. And I've got a bunch of them that are up on Facebook, but clearly there's something to it, and it's got to be more than your imagination.
I am 100%.
So
no, I don't imagine my dog in the circle and the cat dish going across the floor.
Right.
I can't imagine that my mom or grandma or someone like that is just moving the dish in the same manner that Izzy used to. I just don't believe that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there was another one that I had. Jessica, yes, the same happened after our Max Pass. We moved across country a week later, and as we were still settling in, we could hear the jingle of his collar or his boxer snore. It was always reassuring and comforting knowing he was still with us. So these aren't anything I'm making up, you guys. These are real responses on our Facebook page. These are real responses on my personal Facebook page, so not even anybody that was prepped for any type of paranormal conversation, you know? So
yeah, 100%. I've had, like I said, I'm probably one of the most skeptic, and I've had distinct that you can't chalk up to residual or someone else visiting me in the middle of the night. They're very distinct of my pet, especially the 3 times around in a circle and always in the same spot in bed. And randomly it still happens, and it's been a long time.
All right. Well, that's what I really wanted to catch up on. I figured that if I've got these questions, I know I'm not the only person that's gone through losing a pet recently, and I'm sure clearly not the only person that's going through hearing things or seeing things. So I'm glad we were able to touch base and have that conversation. Did you have anything else you wanted to throw in on the topic that maybe I didn't ask you?
No, I think
we covered it.
I think it's real. Remember, it goes back to don't let anyone tell you what you see and feel.
Right.
And I think that's where we get to, because we're taught we have to question everything. I don't think we walk around saying, "Oh my God, that's them and everything." But when you know it and you feel it, like, don't doubt it.
Right. Good deal.
Just don't.
Also, for your podcast, did you have anything coming up on your podcast recently? Or the look on your face says I haven't had a chance.
I suck. I have not. I'm gonna re-release some that's already been recorded. Between a new grandkid, trying to get a house started, I suck. So I'm saying this is like the end of this season where I'm going to start playing reruns just like television. So I'm going to start re-airing some from previous seasons because I know it doesn't seem like much, but it really is.
Well, and you've got a lot going on. I forgot about all of the above. So I've been so wound up in my own stuff the last week or so you completely forget about it. But well, it was great catching up, and I'm going to probably guarantee this is probably we're not going to do another one of these probably until you're in town. I'd like to say I'm going to do another one next week.
Long, actually.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we're recording this.
Weeks away.
Yeah, we're recording this now on June 17th. You'll be here mid July, and we'll jump on and we'll record a podcast probably as we're doing all this stuff, which would be a lot of fun since now we kind of have the website. Which, by the way, you guys, there's a new website, paranormalexploring.com. I just launched that one over the past week, so you can get on there and get all the podcasts, get all the videos, and I've linked over to all your stuff as well. And TammySchuster.com is where all her stuff is as well. So.
And we're still in the planning stages of some kind of paranormal thing going on in October here too. So we can't really release that yet, but it'll be a way for everyone in Michigan and around to join us. But we're working on the dates and the details right now.
I think you guys are really going to enjoy what we have up our sleeve coming up this season. I truly do. I appreciate everybody's support from last year because honestly, I think if people weren't into it, I don't think we would be as inspired to continue this on. But we're just looking at, I'm a numbers person, and just looking at the numbers on the YouTube channel, and how those have gone up, and the fact that we've been able to have fun together again and reconnect over all of this, and everybody's enjoying it. Why not do another season?
Right. We may say that now, but we'll see when we get out of the one place if we're both that way or not.
If we get out of the one place.
If we get out of the United place.
All right, Tammy. Well, I know you've been busy today, so I'll let you go. And thanks for taking some time. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Josh.